Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Wait.
Everybody calm down!
Help!
Here.
Oh.
Take my hand.
Ah!
Come on. You're gonna fall unless you take my hand.
No, give me your other hand.
Oh, my other hand isn't strong enough. You take my little hand.
No! Get it away from me!
Take it. Take my hand.
Ah!
Silence. I now call to order the first meeting of the Ancient Mystic Society of No Homers.
Hey, fellas, can I join?
Sorry? No homers.
Welcome to the show that wasn't meant to be, but it is, because Rob is not here, as shown in that clip. This is the No Rob show. So normally we'd do the Rob and Mike show, but not tonight. So unfortunately, Jake, I know Jake was looking forward to us seeing Rob's take on the Carnal Kickstarter, but unfortunately, you're going to have to wait another week. Can't be helped. It is what it is. And I thought, you know what? Instead of that, let's try and be a little bit productive. You know me, always trying to squeeze in another hour here or so. So I'm going to do a little bit of coloring like I do on the other day. Mark's Music Obsession snuck in first, like he is wont to do. Up there, 62. Getting up there. We've got Bretsky the Great in the house. Jolly Green has joined us. Jeremy Burtz, the legend Jeremy Burtz, the champion. Also, fellow champion, side by side, Mo Biggs. Two first champions together at last. Hail the Golden Wrench. There is Jake. It's coloring time. Hope you all caught Jake's stream where he decided to drive everyone away by going over a Futurama book for 2 hours. Rob is off somewhere hating things, says Jolly. Yeah, probably. I didn't ask him what he was doing. He just said, I can't stream today, and I didn't press it any further. So I did say to him, I did a tweet earlier. Actually, I should probably bring that up. It is pertinent to discussions. I did a tweet earlier about Cockmas in July, which is what I'm calling the July rush for everyone to launch their books, because no one wants to go too late. And you sort of start getting towards after July, August, September rolls in, October, no one wants to launch. By the time it's October, people are done. And obviously they don't want to launch too early in the year. So this is Cockmas in July. Although Jake did launch in Cocktober. You can still promote. Jay Ryan is here. Cut my life into pizza. This is your last resort. I think that's how it goes. What's up, Patrick T? We got Awasi in the... I've got to get back to Awasi. He DM'd me. Sorry, Awasi. I've just been focused on other things at the moment. Exactly, like squeezing things in whenever I can. Rob even hates to hate things. Nevertheless, he persists. He does push through. And that's what I told him. I was collecting images for all these things that are launching in the next few weeks. He hasn't posted a single image from his new comic. Not one. Keep in mind, it is going live in 2 weeks, August 1st. He has not posted a single image. I mean, he's got a couple clip things up on his sign-up page. So I said to him, are you going to post any art? He's like, oh, yeah, I got to do that. What's up, Woodrow? Great to see you here. It's restricted in 36 territories. That's how something back the Futurama book is. What's up, K-pop? The bussies are going unhunted. Indeed they are. All right, let me share it so you can see what the hell I'm talking about. StreamYard. StreamYard changed everything. Now I don't know what anything is. We're going to make it all easier to understand. They made it worse. This is what I'm talking about. So July 24, Fiendish 3. July 25, Black Rhapsody 2. July 31st, Drawing Aces Anthology. August 1st, Replicator 4. And August 8th, Frog G. I know those last two don't technically qualify as Cockmas in July, but they're all of these are launching on my channel. So I guess it does count that they're all together here like this. But look, we've got art from Rini. We've got art from Magical Media for Black Rhapsody. We've got the anthology here, the Drawing Aces, Bloodbone, and we got this amazing work here by Jason and Inkspots on Frog G2. But Rob, no, he's just like nothing. Although, like I said, he does have. Look, we got that. That's a little clip of a panel. We got that. And it's not like the art is crap. The art is amazing. But he doesn't share it. That we've seen that ages ago. That we've seen that. That's Alan Goldman and Shelby on the inks and Eugene Bativis on the colors. And he's sharing, like, if we go back, can I go back? Am I allowed? Where is it? Where's Rob? The Replicator. I'll just type in Rob. Rob. All right, see, that's the first thing he shared, but we've seen that before. Look, he's sharing art from book 2. Book 2. Retweeting other people's stuff. Book 3. Book 2. Why would he share that? You see what I'm saying? Rob is the guy who wrote the actual how to crowdfund well thing. So I'm calling Rob out. I did miss Vaughn on the 1st, but then I remembered, but then I thought, but see, Vaughn isn't launching on my channel. Vaughn's launching on his own channel, but we'll still include him, and also Hotel Story on August 5, which is probably going to launch on Creative Block, I'm going to imagine. But there they are. Hotel Story and Phenomenova 3. There's a lot happening. Mo says, I don't blame him. Book 2 was the glory days. Yes. Yeah. Back when George stated very proudly that Replicator was his favorite crowdfund book. Oh, I haven't heard that in a while from George. It might be from someone else. The bussies are always being hunted, says ORCV. Ew. Hotel Story is my most anticipated. Dale, I have it. I have it already. I need to give Pear a quote. You know, like they do that. You put like a quote when you launch. I'm doing that now. So I do love Hotel Story as well. I haven't read it yet. I will be making time over the next week. Yeah, that's the privilege. That is the privilege I have. It's very much appreciated. You know, that's what they do. They're trying to get very important people, such as myself. I think Arvid already has a quote out there. He's read it. So I'm very much looking forward to it. Not Lucent 3 is my most anticipated, says Jolly. Well, that's a good thing then that this is not the Lucent 3. This is the Lucent -1, I guess. And look at that, 256 backers. Got another one earlier. 13,363. I guess that makes this sort of like a quasi celebration stream, celebrating passing 13,250. Now we're on a 260. Most says almost no one uses my pull quotes on their campaigns. It's like all they care about is sales and positive reinforcement. I know, right? What is up with that? We will be working on. I mean, I will be. You won't be. I will be working on a page. If I can find where I put it. Doing my normal thing. Get down there. Doing some, what do we call it? The highlights. The highlights of the night. This poor fella. Remember, he was my kind of Guy Ritchie inspired British gangster man. Why is his shoe so orange? Seems like an unusual color for a shoe to be. I might just make it same as his hair color. Color coordinate. Always important. Limited palette and everything. Let me make sure I can see your comments here. If anyone says anything interesting. Not Lucent 3 will be the smash hit of the Australian summer, says Jolly. Here's hoping. Fingers crossed. Am I doing Not Lucent 3? Is that my book? It's so hard to know. We need a brush. All right, we've got a brush. Yes, good. Everything is set up. All right. Like Dale, this book lacks vitamin C. What you guys are talking about. I drink the vitamin B. It's a whole different kettle of fish. I'm going to try and be quick, you know. So these scenes that you guys have been seeing constitutes the first half of the book. Ella's out here doing her thing, thinking she's all that. This is before she meets Damon. And Damon's going to call her out somewhat on her shenanigans here. But in the meantime, look, she's just, all these guys wanted to do was enjoy a little bit of their favorite pastime of dog fighting. And it can't really be illegal if it's happening in a dream. Nothing's illegal in a dream, you know. And she's just there to ruin their fun time. Typical chick. Never happy that men are out there having fun. I hope Mel isn't listening. She's at work. Sure she isn't. I didn't tell her I was streaming, so well, she probably knows I normally do. That's why it's the only vitamin that involves injection. Vitamin B. Oral injection. You drink it. Not true. Vitamin D does. Called out, Mo. Here you go. Take that. Do people really inject vitamins? Is that a thing? I get all my vitamins and minerals from natural sources. I don't deal with any of these extra supplements, you know? All natural, as God intended. I feel like I'm getting good at the boob stretch. It's very important. the fabric stretches between the boobs. We've got Orbital Hub in the house. He says, nice shot. We can thank the great Rod Looper for that. Working on this is page 8, which means you probably would have seen it. I think if you got the ash can on the Painted Death, you would have seen it in black and white. Finally getting to color it. Getting around to that. Raw liver will give you natural B complex. Well, I ain't eating that. I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. All right, where would the light hit here? About here, I reckon. I'm just eyeballing all this. Whatever happens, happens. Yeah, exactly, Mark. Liver. My stepmother, in typical stepmother fashion when I was younger, used to try to get me to eat liver. But she's Greek, so, you know, they're into weird stuff. She's never tried to get me to eat liver, like liver and kidneys and stuff. She was probably just trying to be, like, healthy, you know? Like, she's looking after the kids. I needed to eat well. I'm going to give them liver. The kidneys, I remember not minding so much, but the liver, I was like, no, this ain't a thing. This is not going to become a regular event. The irony that meatloaf would provide many essential nutrients. We don't really eat meatloaf here. It exists, but it's not a thing. Like, if an Australian said to you, I've never eaten meatloaf in my entire life, I think that would be pretty common. I have had it. I can't remember where. I just remember that I have. But yeah, it's not really a staple like I feel like it is in the States. Chopping kidney for gravy happens. All right, Patrick T. I hear it is very good for you. Just, I'm going to pass, I think. Let's eat some more regular meat cuts. Just remember, when you eat kidneys, you're also eating a little bit of urine. Thank you, Eric, for the... I feel like that's, like, there's a lot of that going on regardless, you know? Like, you're always... You know when they show that you'll never do this after you see some disgusting, you know, electromagnetic, bloody electron-microscope vision of something? This is what you're putting your mouth on, and it's all these little bugs and everything. It's like, that's just life. Can't get around it. But urine, it's sterile, and I like the taste. We got Moromi in the house. Oh my god. Orbital hub. Cut liver into small cubes, freeze them, and put them in water. I will not be doing that. What is going on? Absolutely not. All right, done and dusted, Ella. Let's move on to big man here. I never really gave him a name. He's just the big man. He's the enforcer, you know? And Ella, being very astute in fighting, in dream fighting at this point, she takes him out first. Always important. Take out the big guy first. Send a message to everyone else. I mean, it doesn't really work, but you know, I could probably just do a bit of this and we'd be fine. Can't do that. Things be connected here. All right. We're good. I think we're good. We're good. Gulp it down, zero taste, 100% nutrition that you will feel 15 minutes later. Are you serious? See, I am on a health kick. I'm down a staggering amount of kilos. It's great. I feel great. I'm looking forward to feeling even better. But, you know, there's a limit, isn't there? There's got to be a limit to how serious we want to take this. I mean, I still want to live life. I don't see myself sucking down any kidney cubes anytime soon, Orbital Hub. I mean, I'm happy you're happy. I'm happy you're happy. But who knows? Maybe if I get to that, you know, I get to a really tricky plateau. Like I had one to get under 90 kilograms. It just wasn't happening for almost a month. So I had to take a bit of drastic action. And I pushed through it. But I feel like the plateaus are going to just get even harder as I go. I'm looking at it like I'm looking at this whole thing like a video game. You know, you're on each level. So like 5 kilos is a new level. So right now I'm in the 90 to 85 level. And it's a little bit harder than the previous ones. And the boss is getting past the plateau down into the next level. And yeah, I feel like sacrifice is going to have to be made here. I'm not at the kidney freezing sacrifice level yet. As I eat a banana split, says Oazi. What you're saying makes sense, Orbital. It does make sense because it's frozen. You don't even taste it. I hear what you're saying. But as Black Adder said, I don't know if we're at the urine drinking phase just yet. Equivalent that to eating kidney cubes. Jake says Carnival was a game changer for both me and my wife. I'm not there yet either. I've seen the results of the Carnival. It might be something I could do one day for a short period of time. I just don't see. I don't want to do diets, you know. I don't want to do things like that. I'd be like, I'm on the such and such diet, you know. Because it's not something that I'm going to do forever, you know. Much better off just forming actual habits that last. And I don't see that being a thing for me. Plus, I could never afford it. The only way I could do it is if I just live off chicken, and then that ain't gonna happen. St. Patrick says, just eat once a day between 2 and 6 p.m. That, I think, might end up being like another final boss. I'm not there yet either. I don't need that to do that yet. I've already been intermittent fasting for 2 years now. So I don't eat between 7 p.m. and 12 and midday, essentially. Around thereabouts. So I'm already used to that. But yeah, I might need to take it further if I plateau again. The only way I could afford is if I live off chicken, and that ain't gonna happen, says Mo. Gee, I wonder what association Clancroft applies to eating chicken. No, just because it's the cheapest one, and it's like high protein for the amount it costs. Like beef is crazy. Beef in Australia, we sell it to the Chinese. It costs so much more to get it here than it does in China. Our beef, Australian beef, nuts. That's just the way it is. This guy's like muscly fat, you know? A proper brawler. Proper naughty boy. These are all naughty boys. That's why they're getting their butts kicked. Red meat is needed. I agree. So we try to have something of that, you know, as often as we can. But oh my God, it's so expensive. No fish, bro. Bussy is also cheap. I've been getting into a little bit of the old prawns, the old shellfish. Also high in protein, a little bit expensive, but you can get quite a lot. I do love them. It's the food hour with Bancroft. He's got that water weight look. Yeah. He's just like really thick, but it's all muscle. There's some spots here I should probably flat. All right. KSS testing me. I did mention the other day, I did watch Predator with Mel recently. It's fresh in memory. Okay. In the 1987 sci-fi hit Predator, how does Poncho get killed? Now, here's me having to remember which one Poncho is. I think Poncho is the guy. He's with the chick, and he gets dragged off. He gets dragged off into the jungle, and she's like, what happened? He says, the jungle came alive and took him. And then someone goes over to find him, and there's like, we can't find his body. Is that Poncho? Wrong. Damn it. Damn it. Yeah. I remember Billy. Billy is the kind of Indian guy. Yeah. Do I ever have Looper on? I haven't had Rod on in a while. That'd be cool to do. I don't think he streams much. There was a little bit of a language barrier. Rod speaks English, obviously, but it's a little bit broken. Poncho. Which one is Poncho? I mean, they all kind of get dragged in. I remember, is it Blaine? Is that the one with the minigun? He was thinking he was chasing the Predator, but it was just like a porcupine or something. And then he gets clipped or something. I think the porcupine gets hit and blood splatters, and then he gets a shot right through his torso from behind. And they said the wounds are all cauterized. It's like, what did this? I remember that. How did Mac die? Mac, he dies quite unceremoniously for someone so passionate. Like, he's obviously like, he was looking for the Predator with the other dude, and then like he's crawling through the thing, thinking like he can't be seen, but the Predator's just right there and just pops him in the head. It's like, it was a jungle skunk, right? Yeah, of course. But there's a couple of guys, especially the white guys, who all kind of look very similar. Like, that was poor casting, I feel. You know, Arnie is very distinct, his face. And it's fine to have another, like, white guy in there that has just a sort of a generic look. But I feel like there were 2 or 3 of them. And or maybe there was just two, and I kind of probably got them confused. We also, because Mel was watching, and she likes to watch with the subtitles on, because with different accents and stuff, sometimes it gets tricky. But so I learned things that I didn't realize, like the Predator, when he's saying all that weird stuff, he's repeating what he's heard. I never knew that. Like when he laughed at the end, that's him. That wasn't the Predator laughing. That was him just like replaying Billy laughing. And I didn't know that until this viewing. I just thought, oh, the Predator laughs. Okay. So yeah, I learned something. I learned something new this watching. I think I'm gonna try and get her to watch the others. I'm not looking forward to watching the Danny Glover one, to be honest. I don't remember enjoying it very much. We watched the trailer. I wasn't thinking, oh yeah, I can't wait to watch that, But if we're gonna do a marathon, mate, gotta watch everything, I suppose. It looked very like a whatever it was, 80s or 90s bloody sequel, which were never good back in the day. Sequels didn't start getting good until much later. All right, K-pop says it's dope. I don't know. The trailer had one kind of walking up the wall, and it just looked like a dude in one of those rubber suits. But I have not seen any other Predator. I have not seen any Alien versus Predator. I've not seen anything. Not a single thing. I've only ever seen Predator. So yeah, I feel like there's a lot to missing out on a lot. Because I think Predator's pretty cool. The Predator actor died at like 35 years old. The guy in the suit, I would have known his name at some point. He must have been pretty big, because he kind of made Arnie look small. Yes, that guy. I learned something while watching The Predator, says KSS. Like, I didn't know he was mimicking the people. Hold on, Bancroft. I can't find the hand slap emoji. How would I have known that without the subtitles? It wasn't clear. He was just making weird noises that sort of vaguely sounded like voices. I mean, I know he mimicked Arnie at the end. But other than that, I didn't know the rest was that. I love that sound he makes. That sort of, yeah. I got to get a little bit of phlegm in the throat to do it. No, I can't do it. Sometimes I can do it. I do it sometimes to scare the kids. And normally, just like, you keep saying that thing, it sounds like, I like it, like that. I'm going to just say that. We almost had Van Damme as Predator. That would have been... I feel like Van Damme is kind of that would be a waste of money, because the Predator is in a thing. Or maybe that was before he was famous. Like if I was the studio, you know, that would be, oh, we got to pay this movie star to be the Predator, but he's just covered up. They have test footage of him. I mean, it would have been funny to have the Predator do, you know, the splits and everything. Makes sense. The question remains, though, is it better? I think it would have been better if we, the audience, didn't know it was an alien and we learn as they learn. Because as it stands, you know it's an alien because at the start, you see the ship land. So you're watching, you know what it is, but they don't know what it is. I think it would have been more fun if we didn't know what it is too. But, you know, probably a lot of people disagree. What's up, Rick Saylor? What's up, Cranberry Langers? Oasi says, wasn't it Jean-Claude Van Damme? Yeah, I don't think it was. I remember hearing or seeing something that they had that scene at the start because it was very sort of different to everything else in the film. Like they could have done it or they could have not done it, and they ultimately decided to put it in there. Because yeah, it didn't need to. They could have just as easily started, you know, in that sort of like cut of them landing at the base in the jungle. You're up at this late hour, Bancroft? It's 1 o'clock. It's 1 p.m. Yes, I'm up. I am up. Thankfully, I'd have some sort of medical issue if I wasn't up. Maybe they sell the movie as a pure action vehicle and have the alien reveal be Luke, I'm your father moment. It would have, you would have just found out like organically as you went, but it was very much just an action movie. Like there wasn't really much anything else to it. So I guess they probably just decided rather than add in the mystery element, just run with it, have it be what it is. Mel thought it was really kind of weird the way it was filmed. I don't necessarily think so. I think it was just really well made action movie. The thing that is weird about it, the thing that does stand out to this day is the 80s sitcom ending. That is weird. Like that's to this day, I still wonder what the thought process behind that was. Like whenever I see it, I'm thinking kind of like Doogie Howser music or like I'm terrible at I'm tone deaf, but you know, just I'm thinking like some kind of early 80s music over the top of that montage of them all just looking at the camera and smiling. That is weird, and no one will ever dissuade me of that. That's like out of the blue. What was that? Was that Doogie? I feel like it wasn't Doogie. I feel like it was something else. I'll have to go research that. There's a channel that takes that montage and puts it to every 80s theme song they all fit. Yeah, I imagine. I've seen one. And I was like, oh, that is so perfect. Yeah, and it's not like that's okay, it says it's a weird credit rollout. Nothing else does that. There's no, it's like, oh yeah, that was the trend. No, it wasn't. That was just what they did. And I'm like, yep. I know we just had this horror, crazy, awesome horror action movie with a really, really serious, dark tone throughout the whole thing. I mean, it is it's got a really intense tone and atmosphere to the whole film. It's glorious. It's kind of it's almost on par with First Blood in terms of how kind of somber and dark it is. There's very little humor. You know, you got that one joke at the start about Blaine being a sexual tyrannosaurus, and they're like, that is it. And then at the end, they finish with a kind of campy 80s sitcom outro. I'm not complaining. I just think it's unusual. I wonder if they do that in the second one. I'm looking forward to finding out. In the Alien versus Predator one, if they do it with all the different predators and aliens, and they all have like weird alien names, and they're just turning to the camera and going, you know. Someone should tell you they should make an AI of that, of like predators just, you know, turning, maybe like cleaning a skull and then turning and doing like a weird predator smile. That would be a good use of AI. Someone should totally do that. I would enjoy that. In the 50s, they do that upbeat outro after an intense film to kind of reassure the audience that the actors are okay. Oh, there you go. It's sort of like a throwback. That makes sense. I did feel that because maybe it was so bleak, you know, and everyone's dying these horrific ways. It was a good little thing to sort of send you off with, like, oh, they're all right. They're all right. Don't worry about it. They're all, look at Billy laughing, you know? Blaine doesn't have a hole in his chest. He's just chewing his tobacco. It's all good. Predator 2 doesn't close with a cast member, but they do use the Doogie Howard theme song. I think that's what I heard as well. I heard some electronic kind of thing. Which Mel is not going to enjoy, I can tell. But we're just going to have to deal with it. Let's do these little backgrounders. Billy will forever be Kirby in my mind now, says KSS. Oh, it's got that thing again. Damn you, Clip Studio. I got to do all that again. It's doing it down here too. Yeah. I ain't got time to bleed. Classic, some very classic lines in that movie. That's for sure. You know what's really good about that movie? Like Arnie kills the threat, so the story ends well. Like that particular story ends, and that's all good. But it's an alien from another world, so you know it can just come, like another one can just come back. So it's a great premise. Okay, sure, you guys killed this one, but there could be, you know, uh, infinite numbers coming almost. And I think that we watch the other things. I think that's what they do. They have like they've been coming for millions of years or something, or whatever, hunting different things. Don't spoil it for me. So it was a really, really good. I don't know. I probably wasn't intentional, but it was a really good setup for a potential franchise, which I don't even know they would have thought about back in the day. But because I was watching a movie last night called Annihilation with Poe Dameron, Moon Knight, Duke Leto guy, and Natalie Portman. And that's also about an alien that comes to Earth and tries to F stuff up. But the ending, it's like it sort of had an Ex Machina. I'm not going to spoil it, but it's like Ex Machina kind of ending. If you saw that movie, where the sort of the bad guy wins, and I was just like, it felt like at the ending, it was almost like, ooh, this can happen again. It's like there's not going to be a sequel to this movie. Can you just relax? Like that's not going to happen. It never while I was watching it was I thinking, oh, I hope they make another one with a whole different cast of characters. Like it just no. Whereas at the end of Predator, yes, it's all tied up, but it could happen again. Whereas at the end of this movie, it was like it's kind of not tied up. It's not going to happen again anyway, My professional review is that Annihilation is not as good as Predator. In case you were wondering. But it's like a perfectly good movie for me to watch while I'm drawing. Just and more than enough kind of weirdness, and I love sci-fi, so whatever. We got aliens in it. I'm watching. But I was telling Mel about it. I was like, oh, Natalie Portman is a MIT biology professor. So yeah, and she was in the army for 7 years. Like Natalie Portman was. Yeah, she's running around with a machine gun shooting mutated crocodiles, like shark crocodiles. I was like, uh-huh. I mean, I guess in today's military, maybe it does make sense. But I've been on a kick to just watch a whole bunch of stuff that I've missed over the years having kids. Because when you have kids, you just like that's it, You get to movies when you get to them. That's why I've missed so much. You just miss entire friggin' years. Yeah, and that's completely normal for biologists. I know, yeah, most MIT biologists also moonlight as M16 wielding military types who are also, I mean, what does Natalie Portman weigh? 105 pounds? Like, she is minuscule. The gun was as big as her. Kind of a blessing, really, says Orbital Hub. The good news is that you have a huge backlog of classics. Yeah, that is true. I've been just kind of working my way through them. Some of them have been good, some of them not so much. But and as well, you know, when you're with someone, you tend to watch something that both you are going to like. So I'm watching a lot of stuff that I know Mel just wouldn't be interested in. K-pop says, I might have to binge Predator now. Want to watch the new ones? Yeah, there's so much new ones. I had no idea there was this. I literally had no idea. It's like Jurassic Park. I still have only ever seen the first Jurassic Park movie. Never seen and I've seen that one probably like 5 times, but I've never seen any of the sequels or whatever, any of the others ever. And there's so many at this point. I had no idea that the same thing was happening with Predator. Orbital says, keep it that way. I have a feeling it's a bit like that. I mean, I don't know, but I have a feeling it's going to be like, oh, we refuse to learn from our past mistakes and we just keep doing the same thing over and over again and just being somewhat surprised that it happens again. You know? I have a feeling it's going to be a lot like that. Watch John Carpenter's The Thing. If you don't, I'll unsubscribe. All right, I'll put that on the old list. That's like a old one, isn't it? Is that from the 70s? We watched what was it? Big Trouble in Little China? Is that something? Is that the name of the movie? Mel was not impressed with that one either. I thought that was a little odd. Not bad, just unusual. 1982. Yeah. Well, you know. Better late than never, I suppose. Okay, says loves The Thing. It's one of those movies I've heard tons about. You know, everyone talks about it, but I just never actually saw it. And then I go back and I watch the same movies I've already seen before, you know. And my kids yell at me for not trying anything new. I knows what I likes, and I likes what I knows. I think I have to get back to work. It's where the dog comes from. Wallace and Gromit. Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I've seen Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I've seen all the Pee-wees. I've seen all the Ernests. I remember I rented them all at the Blockbuster back in the day when I was a kid. I used to love those movies. All right, I got a little bit done. I mean, not much, but better than nothing. Better than just sitting around doing nothing, you know? I think I'm going to get rid of that part because I don't like it. Gone. Get a bit more directional. Young Einstein I saw at the cinema, and I've seen that probably 5 times. But I remember when that came out. It was an Australian movie in the cinema. Oh, the prequel. Right. Well, I don't know anything about the thing, so. I have not seen Casablanca. I've seen like the old classics. Probably the best one I've seen is you know, when it's like, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. That one, which was amazing. I was blown away by it. Couldn't believe it, how good it was. Send Yahu is the link. You reckon he's available? No, if he is. Yeah. Go back to Lucent if you haven't. Trying to get to 260 backers. Looking to hopefully get there this week sometime would be awesome. And then I can probably announce the $15,000 stretch goal as long as it is feasible, which I'm still figuring out. Gone with the wind. That's it. Not going with the wing. Gone with the wind. Amazing cinematography. Amazing that they were able to make that when they did. Stunning. It's like looking at an old building and you wonder, how do they make this back in the day? It holds up. All right. That's going to be it from me. Anyone else streaming? Probably is. Probably someone else live at the moment. Let me have a look-sees. Customize. Who's live? It's the Gooch again. It's the Goocher. Did James Gunn make a Superman or Super Friends movie? We're asking these questions tonight. All right. Well, enjoy all that. Hopefully you had a good time hanging out here while I faff about. And I will see you in a couple of days for an art share, hopefully. Until then, have a great night. Bye.
Perth made an Australian video, and I wasn't even in it.
Emotional damage.
Hailing us!